What's up, guys? I got some test hands for the Darklord deck that I just profiled. I did make a change though. The trade-ins was cut entirely for 2 Pot of Desires. Just because Superbia is the only level 8 target, and it could be a potential brick, and we just want to cut as many potential bricks as possible from the deck. So I'll just showcase how the deck is supposed to function. Alright, so we'll get our 5. Okay, so we got a decent hand here. Our purpose, our goal for every hand is we want to end on Dawn Dragster, Rebellion set, and a Darklord they can copy on the field. So the first thing we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to activate Charge the Light Brigade, and we're going to mill 3. So this hand was a little weaker just because we drew into 3 normal summons with Raiden and Uko back. But I think we're going to be able to make do with this. We'll go ahead and normal summon the Raiden. Raiden's going to go ahead and mill 2. Mill 2. So a lot of the times the mills don't really matter. It's just kind of like extra bonuses. You use him for the level 4 as a tuner. And charge also does help you play around things like Droll and Lockbird. Now that we have the search, we're going to go search. We'll search for our Nastin to get the Uko back into the grave. Nastin's going to discard these 2 Uko backs, summon himself, and then you're going to activate Nastin's effect, search. It's going to search our contact. Contact is going to then summon the Uko back, and then Uko back's effect is going to send one to the grave. Now right here, what you're going to have to do is you're going to send another Darklord that can copy. So you're going to send I'd probably send Ixchel, since she has the biggest defense. And then, so like I said, this is a weaker way to make the board, but still making the board. You make the Dawn Dragster, you have your Rebellion set, and you have a Darklord that can copy. So now, and you have a contact, so whenever they do something, if you want to destroy it, you first have to go Nastin to the contact to get Ixchel, and then you'll chain Rebellion and then get rid of that Nastin, and then Ixchel will be out with the Rebellion engrave to copy. So with this board you have 2 forms of destruction and a spell trap negate, and then you also have the search engrave. So the board that you always want to be making is pretty much this, double destruction with search next turn and like floating as well. And then once you have these 2 in the grave, you can pretty much loop out resources for every turn. I'll do a couple more test hands going first. We'll draw our 5. This is a pretty strong hand, and then pretty much I always try to go reasoning first. Just like a rule of thumb, always activate reasoning first. They have no idea what you're playing, so you have the highest odds of it resolving. So I'll go reasoning. We're gonna get into our, so the face down card is Uko back. I'm pretty sure you guys saw that in the deck profile. I lost it, or like I couldn't find it or something, so I'm just going to go ahead and put the Uko back out, and then Uko back is going to then send a Darklord card to the grave. And so the only missing thing for our puzzle right now is, I think, the Rebellion, but we're going to search that later, so Uko back is going to send a Superbia to the grave. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to activate Charge of the Light Brigade, and it's going to mill 3. So it mills a Superbia, Nastin, and Into the Void. So we have 2 Superbias engraved, so rank 8 plays are live, and we're going to get that right into our hand. Oh, and Uko back and Raiden should almost always be summoned in the zones where the extra monster, the same column as the extra monster zone. Next thing, we still have a search and contact in hand, so we're gonna normal summon Raiden. And then we're gonna activate his effect to mill 2. He's gonna mill Amdusk and Ixchel. So we already have all of our Darklords in circulation, so this is a very strong hand. And we're gonna use this contact. Contact is gonna summon the Superbia. Superbia is gonna summon our Ixchel. She has the biggest defense. And then Ixchel will then copy the contact and summon the Amdusk. Now, if we milled before we reasoned and we milled the Superbia, we wouldn't have sent the Superbia with the Uko back. It was kind of just unlucky that we did. But Uko back could have sent like a trap for us to then copy again. But we just got a little unlucky, but that's just how it is sometimes. Then we'll use these two to synchro into our Dawn Dragster. And we will search our Rebellion. So with this hand again, we still have Nastin in hand. We have a double destruction, spell trap negate, search engrave, and Uko back to loop. So Superbia is almost always here. If he's not making rank 8 plays, he's trap fodder. And then once he gets into the grave, you can start bringing more monsters out of the grave. Okay, I'll do one more test hand going first. Those two first hands were pretty strong. Hopefully we get something that's like a little weaker, just to show that the deck can still make plays when it doesn't open up pretty strong. Cut that. And we'll draw our 5. Okay, so I know I said a little weaker, but this is probably a pretty bad brick. We're very, very reliant on what we mill with Raiden. If we don't mill a Darklord card with Raiden, we're probably not going to be able to do anything. So we're going to go Raiden's effect to mill 2, Allure, and Charge. And from this point on, yeah, this is like a brick. We won't be able to do anything with this board. Drawing your double Superbias, he's the mandatory that you have to play in the deck, but drawing 2 or 3 of him, there's nothing you can do with that. He is your inherent break for the deck. So, okay, we'll do one more hand, see if there's anything else we can do. If we did mill a Darklord card with Raiden, though, we would have been able to make some plays just because we have Amdusk to kind of cycle everything out. But we didn't, so let's see what we get now. Draw 5. Okay, so just a regular hand here. We're going to do charge before we do anything else so that we don't draw that Raiden. We'll mill 3. So anytime you mill 3 different Darklord cards with charge, it is super powerful. We'll get that right into our hand. And now we'll go ahead and activate Into the Void, drawing 1. Then we'll go ahead and normally summon that Raiden. Raiden is going to mill 2, milling Superbia, and another Into the Void. And let's see what we got to work with now. So we do have this Nastin, so the Nastin can still discard 2, and we still have Banishment to search. So I think our missing piece is Ukobek, so we're going to have to search Ukobek here. And Nastin is going to be able to get that Ukobek into the grave. So we're going to send the Superbia and the Ukobek into the grave, summon the Nastin. Nastin is going to copy to search, get the contact out. We're going to activate contact, for that Superbia. Superbia is going to summon our Ixchel. Ixchel is going to pay 1,000 life points, copy that contact, summon the Yuko back, and since we already have a Search and Grave, because we milled it earlier, we can then send Rebellion. So this board is actually going to end with a lot of interaction. We're going to Synchro on Draxler, and we're going to have Enchantment set. So here we're going to have a Spell Trap Negate, 2 Mind Controls, and 1 Pop through Ixchel or Nastin, and then like always we have a search for next turn. So this is essentially what the deck does, and it's what it's going to be doing every turn. It's pretty consistent build that I've made. But I mean, drawing 2-3 Superbia is going to happen, or drawing dead hands. You know, with any deck, there's the possibility to break, but I believe that this deck is as consistent as it can get as of right now with Darklords. This is just the most consistent thing that I've been able to come up with. Most consistent deck that I've seen in terms of Darklords. But, yep, thanks guys.